Hey guys, welcome back to Raise RC. Got a fun video today. Yeah, I'm super excited. Why is that? Because I got a brand new kit. Hey, who doesn't get excited when they get a brand new kit? I do. So as you can see in front of us, we've got the Tekno EB410 1/10 scale electric buggy, 4-wheel drive, Tekno RC. This is actually my very first Tekno kit. I haven't owned anything else from Tekno, but I am actually been a big fan of theirs for a long time. They're really more on the 8th scale side with their electric buggies and druggies and nitro stuff. And they do, I guess, technically have a 10th scale competition kit, the SCT410. But as those of you who know, it's really more of an 8th scale buggy that's been converted into a short course. So, you know, pretty much everything on that is 8th scale dimensions. But this right here is really Tekno's first foray into the true 10th scale racing scene. This just came out probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I ordered it from Tower Hobbies, but unfortunately, I guess there's some issues over there at Tower. I'm not sure what's going on, but they seem to have trouble getting kits in stock and stuff. So it took a few weeks, but I finally got it. Showed up on my doorstep today, so I thought I'd do an unboxing video. Those of you who've been following my channel probably have seen my my 4-wheel drive comparison between the 224 2.0 and the Team Associated B64D. That's the most popular video of all time on my channel. I really do like four-wheel drive buggies. They're probably my favorite kit to drive. They're just really fun. And the cool thing about the Tekno is that it's really a different design. You know, the 224 2.0 obviously is belt drive and very different from the B64D, but the B64D is, you know, pretty similar to a lot of other kits on the market. But Tekno with their EB410 decided to do something, you know, quite different from anybody else. They went their own way, kind of forged their own path, and I'm super excited to see how this thing runs. So let's just kind of go through the kit real quick. So this is the box. Obviously, I do like the box. Usually the Tekno kits just have kind of a plain black box with just like the name of the kit on top, and you know, there's no graphics or pictures or anything, so it's a little bit hard to tell what it is. But here they actually show you, okay, you got an actual buggy inside, and you know, maybe you want to buy this thing. So there's a little improvement. Not too sure about this color scheme, but that's okay. So going through the the box real quick, they show you some of the highlights, I guess, of this kit. So it does have this reverse bell crank system. We'll kind of check that out a little bit later. 3 fluid-filled differentials, pretty standardized, but large 13 millimeter shocks. So that is very unusual in the 10 scale world. Really, not too many guys do that. I think the old 10 SCTE, some of the Traxxas GTR shocks and stuff use 13 millimeter, but pretty unusual. So they kind of diverged from the other guys. I'm not sure that's a good thing. We'll see. Also, you can kind of see a picture of the chassis here. They kind of point out basically how the electronics mount, and as you can see, you know, this is the front of the vehicle, right? If you look at it, it kind of looks like this should be the front. No. This is the front of the vehicle, and they throw everything up as front as possible. So very unusual. We'll have to see if that actually works or not, you know, when we get to drive this kit. So on the back kind of tells you some other stuff, basically parts, tools, other things you want to get, basically assemble this kit. So without any further ado, let's kind of pop this thing open. I can grab my little knife here, and yeah, I don't know what's inside. I haven't opened this thing, but there are a couple seals here, it looks like. One there, as you can see. I am opening this up along with you, so I do appreciate you guys watching along with me on my videos here. Wow, what the heck? How come gotta chop right through that thing, huh? It's like almost, oh, they taped it wrong. Okay, so whatever. So it looks like this is kind of a little cover sheet here, and here's the actual box. Tekno EB410, and let's see what we got inside. Lots of bags, lots of fluids, lots of springs. Let's just kind of pop things out one by one. So bag N, looks like we got the Tekno wing. Kind of unusual, kind of has that 3-stripe thingy going on. I guess that's sort of Tekno's logo. Nice little printed Tekno, I guess, battery strap, I'm guessing. So yeah, little disclaimer here, I don't really know what this kit looks like inside, so if I start pointing stuff out and making a fool of myself, I apologize in advance. But I don't know what these are, little body savers. I mean, what are these little discs? Who knows? But kind of miscellaneous parts, some little Velcro pieces. This thing does not have full-on body rails, side rails, whatever. It just uses little tabs, I guess. So here are all the fluids, 500 CST, I guess, 7K, I would assume the rear diff, 15K I believe is for the center diff and the front diff. A little thread lock, very nice, always useful, and a little black grease, pretty standard. So, you know, one thing I did notice with the Tekno kits is that, or, you know, really talking about Tekno in general, they're really kind of a smaller company, right? They haven't been around as long as the other guys. Obviously, maybe their graphics, maybe their, you know, labeling and stuff is not quite up to AE standards or TLR standards or whatever. But I do appreciate them actually trying to, you know, sort of keep up with the other guys, do their best. And the funny thing with Tekno is, you know, while they may not be known for having the flashiest looking kits, you know, they are really well regarded in the RC community. So, you know, they're known for having very durable platforms, high performance, really nice parts and plastics, and then also very good instructions and stuff. So, you know, while you may lose out on some of kind of this plain packaging, I think they do basically excel in other areas. So here's the body and what they call kind of the fighter jet inspired body. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it looks all right. Looks kind of, you know, stealth bomberish, I guess, or stealth fighterish. I'm not too up on my actual aircraft, military aircraft, but that's what it looks like to me. So you do have to cut this, obviously. Little fan parts where you can cut out to basically mount the fan on the side to get some airflow. And so it doesn't look too bad to cut out or paint, so looks all right. You will notice there are no wheels in the box, but the neat thing is this kit will actually accept TLR wheels by default, and then you can get basically other wheel hexes to run associated style wheels. So I actually have both, so I think I'm going to run the TLR wheels. So you might see some yellow wheels on this thing when I get it going, but it's nice that, you know, kind of an industry first, I think, where they allow you to basically run multiple manufacturers. So let's open up this big bag here. Looks like we got a few different things going on, a bunch of bags inside, and I'm just gonna dump it out. Why not? See what is going on in the big bag. What the heck? These look like pills, I guess, for adjustable toe, maybe kick up, track with, that sort of thing, front and rear, I assume. Some little, I don't know what those are. Are those shock pistons? Are those just spacers? Maybe you can drill your own for something. Probably, I would guess, hinge pin spacers of some sort. You got these, oh, okay, serious arms going on. Serious arm action. Look at that, man. There's like no cutouts in the arm. It's just like one solid piece. So it looks like, I would guess, front arms there. So it looks like you do have to cut parts off parts trees. A little bit of a bummer, but for $3.99, that's basically the MSR or street price of this product. You can't really complain. It looks like some sort of anti-roll bar as well as the mounts. It looks like some hinge pins and then some, looks like, are these, yeah, it looks like they're molded plastic sort of ABCD blocks. We'll see. Are those metal or are those plastic? I can't tell. I'd be surprised if they were plastic, but maybe they're metal. We'll have to find out. They're kind of a grayish color. So that is bag E. Moving on, throw some stuff to the side. Bag F, looks like we have the bearings, some, I would guess, turnbuckles or something, not really sure what. Looks like some sort of hubs, rear hubs, I would imagine. So stainless hinge pins, these look like the little drive pins. What else we got going on there? Oh, and some little CVAs. So everything's sort of a black oxide finished looking steel pieces. I don't see too much aluminum so far. Bag F there, this must be the rear arms. Bag G, yeah, these have got to be metal, right? Yeah, so it does look like just sort of a black anodized aluminum ABCD blocks. Some set screws, really long hinge pins, probably 3.5 millimeter, I would guess. Not exactly sure, we'll have to measure those, but yeah, super serious looking arms. I mean, I think they built this thing to be able to take on some serious hits and collisions. And you know, a little background on this, you know, I do have a 22.4 2.0. I do have a B64D. 22.4 2.0 is basically my mod kit. The B64D I run in 13.5. And my son actually really likes driving my four-wheel drive buggies, but the problem is the 22.4 is not the easiest thing to drive in sort of in terms of like sort of pitch and landing and that sort of thing. The B64D, he was braking a lot, and so this looked like the perfect kit basically to have him run. Something like pretty much indestructible. I'm probably not going to put too crazy of a motor in this thing, maybe a 10.5, 9.5, 8.5, something like that. But that's part of the reason why I wanted to get this kit is I thought this might be kind of the perfect kit for him to run. You know, he's a little more crash prone than I am, so something durable is definitely something I'm interested in. So here we got the shock towers, and these are insanely thick. I mean, what are those, like 6mm shock towers or 8mm? I don't know, something. That looks more than 6. That's got to be like 7 or something. So crazy thick shock towers. Looks like bulkheads, some bearings, ball studs. They look kind of standard. I'm not sure if that's 4.8mm or what, but pretty standard. Ball studs, and then we've got sort of the crown and pinion gear for the differential, I would assume. So bag D, looks like probably the front end, I would guess. Bag B, here are some differentials. So all steel, basically gears here. Fairly hefty. You know, I wonder if they'll make plastic gears for this. That definitely did help on my B64D to basically, for 13.5 racing, drop a lot of weight. But these are like hard plastic diff cups. Nice. They're not aluminum. No, they're not aluminum, but a very stiff plastic. So there's bag B. Bag A, another diff, probably the center diff. Looks like the spur gear there. And then I would assume probably the same gears and stuff and same sort of diff cup. Red O-rings, pretty standard looking. A little bit on the big side. These outdrives might be a little bit larger than normal. I'm not sure. Bag C, the other bulkhead, I would imagine the rear bulkhead. Or maybe this is the front. I'm not sure what these are. These are right here, these little plastic things. So some sort of maybe part of the reverse ball crank system. I'm not really sure. A lot of bearings and a lot of small bearings. Sort of like steering bearings. So maybe that's what bag C is. The front diff does basically mount the ball cranks as well. So that's what they mean by the reverse ball cranks. They go backwards from your normal two-wheel drive kit. So I imagine that's probably the front diff housing. So another giant bag. Let's open this thing up. Put all these other guys to the side. Open this thing up. And let's see what we got. Oops, didn't quite cut it all the way. Yeah, there's no editing in these videos if you haven't noticed. This is one take YouTubing at its finest. So here we go. Okay, giant antenna tube. I'm not going to need that. Looks like some side guards, I would imagine. Side rails, probably for the front end where the electronics go. Left and right. Some sort of, I guess, battery mount here. Battery post there. I guess these are the turnbuckles. Are you serious, man? They look like they're made out of the same material as like every other plastic piece in here. Usually ball cups, you know, are a little bit softer, a little more malleable plastic rather than the stiff stuff you would use on, you know, the chassis or arms and stuff. So that'll be really interesting if they are actually just the normal black plastic they use everywhere else. So I'm just kind of throwing out my thoughts on what I see. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe some kind of servo mount. Yeah, things are a little bit different with the Tekno. Definitely, for sure. Bag O. Man, we're really getting deep in the letters here. So bag O. No idea what this looks like. More just side pieces. I mean, like, what is that? Okay, it's got to be a 1mm like sort of diff riser or something, I would imagine. Yeah, it looks like maybe the gears can kind of swing through those. A couple different sizes. Maybe O's for option parts. That would be my guess. Bag H. What do we have here? More turnbuckles. We have actually the spindles, it looks like. Another shock tower up here. So maybe this is really the front shock tower and the other one is the rear. Don't really know. A lot of bearings, a lot of CVA. So this is definitely one of the, I guess I would imagine the front end, basically. Spindles, caster blocks, shock tower, CVAs, and then all the bearings and ball sets to go with that. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of late in the stage. You know, a lot of kits actually build arms in the front end very early, but I think Tekno starts with like the diffs and then kind of moves on starting from the center and then kind of moving out. So here's bag I. Looks like rear braces, maybe a center diff sort of mount. Yeah, looks like the center diff mounts basically, probably the center drive shafts here. So this is a shaft drive buggy, obviously. This looks like some kind of front bumper, I would imagine. So this looks like kind of like, yeah, basically chassis parts to basically mount the center diff. And then we got some shocks here. So, okay. Excuse me, a little bit sick. Here we go, one set of shocks. So bag J and K, I'm gonna guess that J is the front and K is the rear. I believe this uses like two fairly large pistons. I mean, you can see they've got sort of like 2 by 1.6, 1.7-ish, maybe 1.8 size pistons. But then they also have those tiny 4 little holes on that side. So they're not just regular 2-hole pistons. And then you got, oh, looks like machined, hopefully sort of spacers and stuff. X-rings it looks like. And then O-rings for the regular steels. You got yellow springs front, yellow springs rear. These are the shock bodies, very long shock bodies. Well, the rears are. The fronts are fairly short, but these are 2 shock bodies for the front, I would imagine, right? Or I guess, oh, this is also just 2 shock bodies. So fairly short shock bodies, and excuse me, that is weird. That is really unusual. Those are really short shock bodies for a 4-wheel drive buggy. I'm kind of unusual. So very short yet wide, sort of squat looking shocks. These are the 13mm things. So I did actually order another set of orange springs to try these out. But I'd be really interested. Oh man, look at those shock adjusters, man. Look at those little preload adjusters. Those are huge. I think they're machined aluminum as well. So machined aluminum bodies, I believe the caps are plastic. So some people are complaining that those are hard to mount on. I don't know, we'll see. And then sort of the last bag, bag M, looks like sort of the top plate or top chassis plate, I would imagine. Some screws, maybe a little bit of the steering system. I'm not really sure, but bag M. And then what's left in the box is we've got the chassis. Oh, quite light. Wow, that's a very light chassis. Nice hard anodized gray, fairly thin actually, a ton of machining, a lot of cutouts. You know, the one thing that I found kind of odd about this kit is that there's no side rails, so there's really just kind of these little spots where I think you mount up little body clips or body, you know, sort of body tabs to Velcro onto your body. And so I'm not really sure about the rigidity of this thing. And then so when you look at a very thin chassis, no side rails, really all the stiffness seems to be kind of up front. I'm sorry, up front. This thing's like back. Up front, excuse me. And then, you know, maybe some chassis braces down the middle. It'd be very interesting to see how this thing handles and if there's a ton of flex or not. I mean, whatever they did, I'm sure it was for a reason, but it is definitely unusual. And the last thing in the box are the stickers, window masks. Let's get this box out of the way. And we're just gonna open this up real quick if I can find my scissors underneath all this stuff. So I want to check out the manual because I feel like that's kind of like one of the highlights of Tekno kits. Their manuals, okay, looks normal, a little black and gray, but when you open this cool little manual up, I mean, check that out. It's like full color manuals, tons of text, tons of diagrams, part numbers, a little bit of like a one-to-one sort of diagram to show you what the parts actually look like. But you know, full color manuals, I mean, who does that? Compare this to like a Kyosho or Losi manual, and it's really quite impressive. So this is my first Tekno kit. I'm really excited about building it. I mean, the manuals just look beautiful. I mean, even the fonts look nice. Shock filling instructions, very detailed, much more than anybody else. So just a nice looking kit overall. So there you have it, basically the Tekno EB410 unboxing video. I'm going to throw everything back in the box. Thanks for watching. Obviously I'm going to build this up over the next few days. Hopefully by this weekend I'll have this thing all assembled and get a chance to run this hopefully next week. I'm pretty much going to set it up with the same electronics I have in my other 4-wheel drive buggy. So what that means is I could probably get kind of an apples to apples comparison. People like the 22.4 2.0 versus B64D. I wonder if they would like sort of a King of the Hill comparison video between this, the Losi, and the Associated. Hey, What a good idea. Maybe I should do that. All right, we'll see how this goes. Looking really excited building and running this. Thanks for watching. I know this is kind of a long video, but I'm glad you stuck it through. Please like, subscribe if you liked the video. I mean, definitely this channel is growing. I'm trying to provide good content. Appreciate you watching, and look for a build and sort of first impressions video soon. Take care, guys. Peace.